FM every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride. Let's go! It's the morning drive on 103.5 Ebola FM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio.
From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
You're getting your morning inspired, be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Efanshuku, aka Meta,
and Christy FEMNR, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
on the morning drive.
103.5 Ebola DSN.
Good morning and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM newspaper headlines this morning, the first day of March 2024. Today is Friday and the time is 2 minutes past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers, but before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that the name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that the complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on the Guardian newspaper, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, Sun, The Nation, This Day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as well live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gstfm. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. NDIC pledges to pay depositors of failed banks issued sums. Cattle dealers sue Abia government. Commissioner of Police over planned demolition of illegal structures. Fresh fraud allegations greet selection of new area of Ire in Osun State. Federal government recovers 20,000 weapons, 60,000 ammunitions from illicit handlers. Police arrest 2 suspects linked to ritual killing of hookup ladies in Ogun. Military welcomes Igboho's pledge to fish out bandits in bushes. Ibadan blast. Residents tax government on returning victims to normal life. Inflation. Citizens turn to condemned expire foods in search of cheaper options. Previous administration could not tackle reintegration in issue in PAP. Ex-agitators disclose. Previous administrations could not tackle reintegration issue in PAP. Ex-agitators disclose. Soyinka faults coup in Africa calls for decentralization in Nigeria. Ukraine donates 25,000 MT of wheat to support WFP in Northeast. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps begins Operation Adakasu, commissions tactical squad, gun trucks. EAA sets up committee to review high fares by foreign airlines. Customs intercept 1.7 billion naira worth of fake drugs. Police nab 3 suspected car thieves, fake dollar racketeers. Recover 9 vehicles. First Lady, NALDA to empower 20 women farmers with 500,000 naira each. Traders decry closure of Computer Village market during inauguration of Lagos Rail project. Senate recognizes Kogi as oil-producing state. It's time for Nigerians to develop natural medicines, says Iwu. Suspected fake corps member nabbed in Nasarawa. Reps demand mandatory drug test for students. Bandits kidnap 40 worshippers in Zamfara mosques. Stop expired drug destruction fee. Pharmacist tells NAFDAC. Nominee rejects Tinubu's CBN job. Cites conflicting commitments. Illegal bunkering. Navy hands over vessel. 13 crew members to EFCC in Bayelsa. Fresh fraud allegations. Great selection of new area of Ire in Osun State. Professors dying over non-payment of salaries. ASU tells Obaseki. Artificial intelligence is game changer for election interference. FBI warns. Ibadan blast. We've taken this. Residents decry high crime rates in Lafenwa. Nigerian tech startups incorporated in US, says Envoy. Federal government to tap into $350 billion global outsourcing market. SGF approves newly promoted officers of FRSC. Foundation holds 5th charity fundraising for out-of-school children in Nigeria. Ogun Council chairman declares Lisabi Day Festival open. Nigeria Qatar Cement Pact on energy transition. Army partners beggar to promote mechatronics. Army partners beggar to promote mechatronics. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Federal government to tap into $350 billion global outsourcing market. SGF approves newly promoted officers of FRSC. Foundation hosts 5th charity fundraising for out-of-school children in Nigeria. And that's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. From the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to Leadership newspaper. United Nations volunteers seek succor for distressed Nigerians. Senate extends clerk's tenure, 200 staff retirement years. Chief of Defense Staff asks youths to take ownership of fight against insecurity. Will the humble pie heal ECOWAS? Federal government directs principals to revive critical clubs in schools. Federal Executive Council mourns former Education Minister Fabian Osuji. Tinubu improving gas sector investments. Concerns as United Nations Antonio Guterres seeks reform of United Nations Security Council. Inflation. Stakeholders urge review of construction contract templates. Canada partners NIDCOM on migration management. Reps urge review of Oronsanya report before implementation. Abuja sextuplets discharged. Hospital solicits support. Abuja sextuplets discharged. Hospital solicits support. 15 suspected bandits arrested in Niger. Enough of the blame game. Forest. Federal government confirms arrest of 2 Binance executives. Goes after crypto operators. Illegal bunkers lose as courts forfeit 2 vessels to federal government. New constitution will be ready in 2025. Reps. Gaza death toll exceeds 30,000. Official. Decentralization solution to Nigeria's challenges. Shoyinka. Senate moves reduction of ways and means repayment window. Tinubu hits back at Labour over strikes. Expert wants technical committee on Oronsanya report. Minister inaugurates delivery team on renewed hope agenda. V Africa, QNet to empower entrepreneurs, drive economic growth in Nigeria. Nigeria, Qatar Gas Corporation will enhance global clean energy. Tuga. Para police parade 28 suspected kidnappers, armed robbers, others. 18th Immigration CG, Adepoju, bows out, hands over to Kemi Namdap. Mikel pushes for Oshime to join Chelsea. Cross River NLC charges Governor Otu on implementation of 2013 gratuities minimum wage. Kaduna government disperses protesters on Abuja Highway, warns against a blockage of roads. Japa, Australia, tightens visa rules for international students. Japa, okay, we've taken this. Reps asked JAMB to extend UTME registration by 2 weeks. Wike approves a promotion of 8,785 FCTA civil servants. Nigeria needs $26.5 million to tackle anemia in pregnant women. Wildlife pushing. Trafficking threat to the planet. Lawmaker Paul Poba vows to appeal doping ban before CAS. Nigeria aims for $350 billion global. March 4th. CITN encourages tax compliance for nation building. Food security. Kalo urges rehabilitation of farm, market roads. President Tinubu improving gas sector. We've taken this. Southeast nominee rejects CBN board appointment as Senate confirms 4. FCT police arrest car snatchers, fraudsters, recovered 9 vehicles, fake $300,000 notes. First Lady launches NALDA-backed initiative. Targets 2 million women farmers. Trey Noi makes historic debut for Liverpool at 16. Trey Noni makes historic debut for Liverpool at 16. Bandits kidnap source. Bandits kidnap scores of worshippers in Zamfara mosques. U.S. expresses concern over Ghana's anti-gay bill. Court arraigns 5 suspects over murder of South African rapper, aka. NEMA unveils new Jew Special Center for Disaster Management. Kanu government stops turbaning of Emir's brother as district head. Maman, Econo, Tor, Innovate 8, Hub, reaffirm commitment to fostering innovation. Lagos, Ghana firm signs Memorandum of Understanding on solid liquid waste treatment. Tinubu to inaugurate Lagos Red Line Rail project. LSC DG urges core members to prioritize safety. Sanwo-Olu reassures religious groups of support. Nwabali to extend cheaper United States. Minister extends love to Ego Star, Truce Ekong, Sanusi, Aina. I don't need Ratcliffe's backing to remain as Man United. Ten Hang, I am ready to fight Nganu, Joshua. And that's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. Hardship. Government should stop taking us for a ride. Shoyinka. Tinubu to NLC is unacceptable to judge me in 9 months. Southeast Group urges Ndibo to support Tinubu's government. Attack on policemen, 15 missing. Another body recovered. Attack on policemen, 15 missing. Another body recovered. State police, traditional means way out of insecurity in Southwest. Yoruba monarchs, no water for drinking, washing for years. Plateau women hit by attacks. Nigeria's economy on track. American city mayor. Southeast nominee rejects Tinubu's appointment. Oti, Ibazu aides. War over Abia's 5% equity share in geometric power. Suspend everything, face security, food. Anambra Labour Party lawmakers. Uzodimma Ikechi remains Southeast leaders. APC. AC Milan owners reveal plan for 70,000 capacity new stadium. Award-winning filmmaker Paolo Taveni dies at 92. Federal government restates commitment to address power challenge. 6 state involvement. Hardship. Kwan cancels 67th birthday celebration. 6 help for less privileged. Which we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to Punch newspaper. 974 terrorists killed, 1,157 surrendered in February. Defense headquarters. Hardship will end soon. Federal government tells aggrieved Nigerians. Delta confirms water pollution in Ukwu-Nzu community. Delta confirms water pollution in Ukwu-Nzu community. Benue fears for internally displaced persons as Lassa fever kills 9. You are not Nigeria's voice. Tinubu knocks NLC over strikes. NUT differs as reps recommend drug tests for students. Traffic wardens lament 16-year career stagnation. Crude theft. Maritime crimes have reduced in Niger Delta Navy. Oil spill. Reps urges Niger Delta to embrace mangrove restoration. 206 quarantined as meningitis kills 26 in Yobe, Gombe. Federal government 42,000 metric tons grain distribution begins with Niger next week. Local government raises tax force on walkway trading abandoned vehicles at a photo exhibition day 2. Merging NDA, Army, Varsity, not good for anti-terrorism war, Zulum. 13 BIU graduates bag first class in bar exam. Edo governor. Fresh crisis rocks Labour Party as Imasobong issues 7-day ultimatum. Hamzat lost club for renovating hospital ward. Groups offer solutions to Niger Delta communal conflicts, violence. Punch at 50. Pass confirms deceitful. Nigeria must decentralize, says Shoyinka. Raise tax on sugar sweetened beverages. Group urges federal government. Artificial intelligence will create more jobs, says ex-Uniport registrar. Lagos Red Line Rail will boost economy. Minister. Reps raises 23-man panel on Oronsanya report. Demand review. Punch holds anniversary lecture. Celebrates 50 years of impact. We will challenge SDP DC. Divestment at international fora. SDN. We will challenge SPDC divestment at international fora. SDN. Gani Adams preaches Ichekiri, Yoruba unity. I inherited a state in bad shape. Abia governor. Stop vandalizing our installations. Just discos, beggar, Gombe customers. Meet Urum Eke, who rejected Tinubu's CBN appointment. Congress of University Academics demands payment of withheld salaries, remunerations. TVC CEO steps down April 30th. Reps to probe CBN. Discourse over mass metering funds. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to Daily Post newspaper. Gun trucks not for law-abiding citizens, but criminal elements. Audi. Democracy improving in Nigeria, Africa, despite challenges. Report. NGX records impressive gain as equities surge by 360 billion naira. Jigawa Tripartite Committee on Minimum Wage submits report. Nigerian Army debunks report seeking financial demands. Governor Yusuf synergizes with religious leaders to tackle drugs abuse, thuggery in Kanu. We lost over 25 members to non-payment of 26 months' salaries, anti-workers' policies. AAU, ASU. Ekiti government prepares for vaccination of girl child against cervical cancer. Constitution amendment, first draft ready in August 2025. Kalo. Food security, 25,000 tons of wheat for Northeast arrive from Ukraine. Reconsider merging Army University with NDA. Zulum begs Nigerian government. Review Oronsanya report before implementation. Reps tell Tinubu. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Daily Post newspaper. We'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. Don't merge Army varsity. Zulum begs federal government. Southeast Group mobilizes support for Tinubu second term. Diri moves Cabinet of Unity. Atiku hails Nnaji on commissioning of geometric power plants in Aba. 25 academic staff have died over non-payment of salaries for 26 months. Kingmakers select Daramola as new monarch of Ipele. Chaos as police stray bullet kills man in Benin. Senator clash as a bill to include Anambra in NDDC suffers setback. Killing of PGs. Soludo meets traditional rulers. PGs. Benue. Police arrest 12 suspects for illegal arm manufacturing, other crimes. Kebbi. NLC 6 quick verification of 2019 pensioners, autonomy for parliamentary staff. Loss of credibility. Alliance for Social Justice slams NLC leadership. Job creation. BIPC begins construction of bakery in Makurdi. Group writes Tinubu appeal for equal representation in disability, community government leadership. JTF arrests 17, impounds 2 vessels with 500,000 liters of diesel. Onitsha market building collapse. Moye harps on strict compliance with standards. Mawa laws UK over marine headquarters project for National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Oyo theft. Army uncovers 40 illegal wells in rivers. Tinubu to inaugurate mobile court on women, children, abuses. Tinubu to inaugurate mobile court on women, children, abuses. 5 die in Lagos-Ibadan expressway accident. Herdsmen kill 9 policemen, injure others in Delta. MTN explains reasons for Wednesday's hours-long network outage. NIN SIM linkage. Subscribers storm NIMC Teleco's offices as deactivation begins. Reps OK's 446.34 billion naira budget for FIRS. Federal government eyes $22.82 billion investment from 51 oil fields on 987 wells. $82 billion investment from 51 oil fields on 987 wells. 75% of passenger boats on Lagos waterways not seaworthy. NIWA. Harvard lists TEF as global case study for philanthropy. NMPC Limited. OPEC collaborates to boost investments, oil production, divestment. NMPC Limited wants investments against asset abandonment. Customs partner DG tax UD EU for efficient export monitoring. Trade facilitation. Abuja in darkness as vandals destroy power transmission line. We will sustain investments despite turbulent business environment. MBPLC. High customs duty. FX scarcity. Crippling manufacturers. CPPE. Manufacturers to federal government. We are in their straits. Support us to reflect economy. That's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Ayedatiwa, Akinterenwa, clash over Togre. Clark hails Gowon for speaking out on ECOWAS sanction. BUA committed to price reduction, says director. Lagos condemns vandalism of public facilities. Nigeria making progress, says Oti. Benue government bans political gatherings over insecurity. Oransayan report. Reps 23-man ad hoc committee to study government recommendations. Wike OK's promotion of 8,785 FCTA workers. Senate urges PSC to recruit 10 candidates each from 774 councils. Finance Minister. AGF deny knowledge of CBN system speaks. Review Revenue Collection Pact. Finance Minister. AGF deny knowledge of CBN system specs revenue collection pact. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Margin Army Varsity with NDA will aid battle against Boko Haram. CBN board nominee Carlo Eke rejects appointment. Ayedatiwa orders arrest of thugs. Frustration, betrayal strengthen my political journey. Apele gets traditional ruler. Building new Naseni, the journey so far and what lies ahead. Court orders for Fisher of oil bunkering chip to government. Math vital to development. Growth, says NTIC. Reps ask JAMB to extend the UTME registration by 2 weeks. How Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger can return to ECOWAS. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Divestment framework for existing international oil companies. Oransayan report has become obsolete. Requires a review. House, Sani advised Tinubu. LCCI tax federal government on clear action plan for implementation. Tinubu, Labour's 4 strikes in 9 months of my government, unacceptable. Family members, associates pay tribute to Ogunbanjo. Stock market slumps by 650.5 billion naira in February as investors switch to tea. More, return to pristine tradition, cultural values to tackle insecurity. Zulum, please, with President Tinubu to share Margin Army University with NDA. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Airborne Ade 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on this day newspaper. Please stay with us.
Love my friend, energizing and refreshing. Love my friend, the aroma is so yummy. Love my friend, it's a friend for the family. Sweetie, sweetie, love my friend. Yummy, yummy, love my friend. Sweetie, sweetie, love my friend. Yummy, yummy, love my friend.
Love my friend, a family loaf produced under a good hygienic environment with NAFDAC approval. Love my friend, produced in enough milk. Yummy, love by bread energizes, refreshes, and nourishes the body. It's a family love by bread, a product of Love by Foods and Beverages Limited in Love, located at number 1 Umusu Medical Close, Umuro Inyobi, Anambra City. 149828254. Love by bread. Eat healthy, live healthy.
Sweetie, sweetie, love my bread. Yummy, yummy, love my bread.
My guy, why you squeeze face like this, man?
My brother, now money where I save for banco, the value just dey reduce every day.
You sef still dey save money for bank? No now, na investment sure pass, my guy.
Na true you talk. Like this, I dey look for estate where I fit invest my money and make good return on investment. I know say plenty estate deal, but I never see wetin I dey find.
Tell me wetin you dey find, make I tell you where you go invest your money put.
I need estate wey get style and dey safe and secure. Estate wey dey better location, wey e be say na buy and build for that part of town, wey correct people go be my neighbors.
You no get shaking at all because Nadistel Concept Limited get exactly wetin you dey look for.
Nadistel Concept Limited? I don hear that name o. Where their estates dey?
Nadistel Concept Limited get plenty correct estates for different places with different price depending on your location. And
run me the updates.
Make I start with the newly launched estate. Number 1 na Vegas Garden Estate, Phase 2, Utulu, off Asaba Benin Expressway, just 2 minutes from Asaba Housing Estate and 3 minutes from Wichita Group of Companies, 10 minutes from Asaba International Airport, 20 minutes from Coca Flyover, and the estate no far at all from Asaba Benin Express Road, Otulu, Delta State. One plot of land inside this estate na only 1.3 million naira because of the special promo when they on now. Number 2 na Paris Garden Estate, Phase 3 for Ibuzo, Delta State. Just 12 minutes from Asaba International Airport, 8 minutes from Coca Flyover, and only 5 minutes from Nigerian Immigration Office. This one dey back University of Nigeria, back of Chinese construction company, and dey no far from the Asaba-Warri Express Road. One plot of land for inside this estate na only 1.2 million naira. This na special promo price. You fit benefit for this promo, must enjoy free documentation if you call us today. Call 090 61 90 4164. That is 090 61 90 41 64 or 081 34 46 1398. That is 081 34 46 1398. Some of our other correct estates, Capital Territory, now Florida Garden Estate is 1, Ibuzo, when be 1.8 million naira for one plot. Florida Garden Estate Phase 2, Ibuzo, when be 1.3 million naira for one plot. What of Florida Garden Estate Phase 2 Extension, Ibuzo, this one now 1.1 million naira for one plot. And Florida Garden Estate Phase 3 Extension, Ibuzo, this one now 1,150,000 naira only for one plot. We still get Paris Garden Estate, phase 1, Ibuzo. This one now 2.3 million naira for one plot. And Vegas Garden Estate, Utulu, when be 1 million. All these estates get C of O and they correct location when they secure with better perimeter fence and solid gate. Good road network day with street lights everywhere. Light and clean water day for you 247. The environment clean and recreational center day for your family relaxation. All our estates come with free documentation when be deed of assignment, registered survey plan, and government approved extension. We get better installment payment plan when you fit dey pay small small and na instant allocation once you pay for any of our estates.
All these estates make sense. I dey go invest my money with Nadistel Concept Limited. Sharp sharp.
No forget say we go do your documentation free of charge. Or you visit our office for CCL Petrol Filling Station, Kilometer 3 Asaba Benin Expressway, Asaba, Delta State. Or put call now to 090 61 90 4164 or 081 34 46 1398. Olohu Norodo. Nadistel Concept Limited say everybody must be landlord.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be, Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanyu number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Epona 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Emas and Epona 24/7, 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-9666-1035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we're live at Airborne at the 103.5 FM. Drop your comments on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. We are on to this day newspaper. LCCI tax federal government on clear action plan for implementation. In place of restructuring, Choyinka seeks Nigeria's reconfiguration, decentralization. Food security, 25,000 tons of wheat for Northeast arrive from war-ravaged Ukraine. Zulum pleads with President Tinubu to shelve Margin Army University with NDA. Roger delves. Nigeria executives need emotional intelligence to succeed in turbulent times. How FX fluctuation, government policies in Kumba Airlines aircraft acquisition, lifespan. Lafarge Africa declares a 51.14 billion naira PAT amid foreign exchange loss. North Atlantic Airways partners APs. MMA2 wins Big A at 13th NIGAV Awards. MMA2 wins big at 13th NIGAV Awards. Stock market slumps by 650.5 billion naira in February as investors switch to T-bills. House of Representatives dismiss a petition against MPAMD. Bello Koko. Ethiopia expands domestic network. And that's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. Ayedatiwa cautions against political violence in Ondo. Oransanye report. Ohaneze youths back Tinubu kick against scrapping Proda. Oshun contestant alleges fraud in fresh selection of Are of Ire, 6 cancellation of exercise. Zamfara treats 2,213 persons in free medical outreach. Reps move to end hunger, malnutrition. CBN board nominee Kalu Eke rejects appointment. Customs appoints 2 new DCGs. Yoruba group cautions Igoho over inciting statements. 6 best time saving methods of cooking beans. University of Osun staff to go home with 33% of their salary. Vice Chancellor. Federal Executive Council mourns death of ex-minister Osuji. Food production. Jigawa government prepares for dry season famine. 170 benefit from Sea Dogs medical outreach in Ogun community. Reps pledge support for development of power-producing host communities. Umahi urges BUA cement management to lower prices. National Association of Nigerian Students meets federal government, demands improvement in welfare of students. Reps hot all concession processes in federal government agencies. United Nations report. Reps ask federal government to act on 24 terrorist cells in Castena. Jigawa government, Saudi Arabia collaborates to implement a modern irrigation technology. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona Ade 103.5 FM. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for your reactions. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message that says, occasionally I seem despairing of the situation in our country, but no, not as an optimist and one who possesses a positive outlook. I have a great hope in the future of Nigeria, resting on the fact that good laws are the extraction of values that are universal and external in their capacity to endure. Nigerians should come to realization that a feeling of dissatisfaction with the present hellish economic situation will drive a strong commitment to making tomorrow a better day. Any Nigerian who is really concerned about tomorrow must make certain that he or she is seen to be part of the solution rather than of the problem. May God see us through this journey of nationhood. Comrade Manly Oduago from Odumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message that says, it is coming from Agonabo. He's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo. And he says, hardship saga, continuous hardship and cost of living, incessant killing in Nigeria is too alarming. And how hungry are ravaging, how hunger is ravaging the country will make many buy expired items like bread, rice, etc. And deaths will increase. And our doctors and nurses are traveling overseas for greener pastures. And traditional medicine are everywhere in Nigeria, and our government are traveling to the same overseas for Nigerian doctors to treat them. Is barbaric, and we are watching as things unfold. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message is coming from Christian Upondo from Onitsha, and he says Nigeria must be decentralized Yes, Joinka was right, because the decentralization of Nigeria would be the solution to what had been going on in this country. Anything short of what the elderly statesman said would bring a disaster to the nation in the nearby future. Everybody should know that this country is not running on a smooth edge, and therefore duty bound to slip off the rail would be possible at any time. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson, and it's joining us from 33. And he says the defense chief advocates active youth involvement in tackling insecurity. Is a welcome development. I strongly sympathize with the victims of MPF who lost their lives to herdsmen at Delta State, Enugu. Okay, Delta State. And he says Engineer Ebuka Joshua Dawson joining us from 33. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Ikweka Ifani from Ikengo Gidi, and he says the very moment politicians understand that they are there because we, the electorates, appointed them, and the only thing we need is proper representative or representation. That's when this country will be great. I'm sorry for any greedy politician in Nigeria, because whatever you sow will eventually come back for you to reap. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Valentine Edene from Umpo, and it says the federal government says hardship will soon end without case be solved soon. Without low importation clearance, with skyrocketing on fuel pump price, how can masses wait for soon? When is that soon? Or is it when all citizens might have died because of hunger? Nigerian politicians are very far from leadership. Valentine Edene from Okpo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Paul Ukwu-Nzu from Onitsha, and it says Tinubu told Nigerians to wait for 2027 if anyone want to take over from him. How many Nigerians will survive all the hard times we are encountering for now to 2027? God help us. Paul Ukwu-Nzu from Onitsha. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from Chike Obata from Obinetiti Okozu, and it says Kogi State declare Oyo State. What about Anambra? Why will Southeast support in this renewed hunger? And it says hardship and cost of items. Herdsmen kill police officer in Delta. What is the problem of those herdsmen that continues to kill people here and there? Thank you so much. Happy New Year month to you too. Now we have this message. It is coming from Waloto Patrick from Munteje, and he says, going by what is happening in the country today, it seems like Nigeria's problem has defied all known human solutions, and this confirms what a self-exiled politician from the north said sometime in 1980s after the military coup in 1983. The man self-exiled himself, and when he was accused of amassing wealth, whereas Nigerians are dying of hunger, the man replied that there was no hunger in the country. According to him, he would only believe that there is hunger in the country only when he sees Nigerians eating from the dustbin. I believe that going by what is happening in the land today, they will not need a prophet to tell him that there is hunger in the country, a situation where citizens turn to condemn and expired food just to ensure that there is something in their stomach. Is that not catastrophic? May God help us. Waloto Patrick from Monteja. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. It's coming from Christian Ufondo from Onitsha, and it says the reps move to end hunger. Why is it that the rep members are almost always monotonous when it comes to heaping empty phrases? We are tired of promising us falsely in this country. How could the House of Representatives vow to end hunger when there has never been a plan to effect what they said? This is highly impossible, because he who fails to plan plans to fail. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from John Ume from Okozo, and it says Governor Alex Oti of Abia State is doing what Nigeria as a country has not and will never do by proving to Nigerians that electricity supply can be enjoyed for good 48 hours without interruption. This man's achievement in the last 9 months is great and commendable. It is a very big challenge to the Southeast governors and the country at large. Instead of running from one country to other, squandering our money, Tinubu should keep his ego to himself and meet Alex Oti and ask him for the magic wand he is using, and not running from. And that I am really sure it will not benefit Nigerians anything. John Ume, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We will now flip over to our SMS portal for more reactions. From our SMS portal this morning, we have this message. This one says, by excluding Anambra State from Niger Delta Development Commission, Nigeria is still fighting Emeka Ojukwu. Release Mazen Nandekano now. KCG from Enugu. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our SMS portal, we have this message. It's coming from Alaket Adams Obinna, and he says, how can you be arresting gun manufacturers in Plateau and Benue, whereas killers, Fulani, Marudas are busy brandishing small guns everywhere? And okay, he's reaching us from Bokos. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It says, our leaders are playing with the youth of Nigeria. Very, very soon, they will enter streets of Abuja. Thanks. Moses Nwankwo, Mpona up with them that turns Nigeria into Inferno. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from the boss from Okozu, and it says many people don't die for hunger, yet nothing has been done. Tinubu still they turn us. Baba God, now your hand we do. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, the boss. Now we have this message. It's coming from Honorable Onyedika Osakwe, and he says, all these kidnappings taking place in the nation is there that, okay, that there is no remedy to be applied, or has it come to stay? The nation has not seen such before, and I wonder if the federal government is not listening to these various heinous acts tormenting the nation. Tinubu's regime has not brought innovation to the nation apart from brigandage and rascality. People urging Southeast to support Tinubu's administration are enemies of progress. What goes around comes around. Look at the brutal killings of policemen by herdsmen, and the government will only go for a mere condolence message. This nation, he continued and says that this nation is boiling, and the people that are preparing kola nut for has no look for foreign experts to manage this nation. It is welcome. He continued again and says, okay, the same message, but thank you so much for joining us this morning. Honorable Onyedika Osakwe, we have this message that said, white people turning face, other side on hardship we are passing, but have to react badly whenever black people reject same-sex marriage. Okay, and he says that shows that they don't mean good for us. Onyekachi in Iyowa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message that says, many thanks to Labour Party House Assembly members from Anambra State for giving out their 6 months salary to push hardship in Anambra State. Importing grains from Ukraine by federal government is good, but let the importation go viral, not only in the north. This is coming from Akedi Amoke Onyanabana Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message that says, kudos to Governor Alex Oti on his remarkable service in Abia State. This is coming from Ikechukwu Nwakeze from Okozo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll now flip over to our Facebook portal for more reactions. From our Facebook portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Ozo Francis Nnamani from Amagunze in Enugu State. And he says, the hardship in Nigeria will soon be over. Tinubu tells aggrieved Nigerians, honestly, it is high time to end the current hardship in this country. The average Nigerians are really suffering. Nigeria is richly endowed, but harnessing the abundant natural resources have become a very difficult task. May God help us. Also, Francis Nnamani from Amagunze, thank you so much for joining us this morning. He continued and said, it is unacceptable to judge me in 9 months. Tinubu tells NLC, I don't agree with Mr. President because 9 months is not 9 days or weeks. Mr. President should explore every possible measure to address the current economic situation and hunger in the land and stop giving flimsy excuses. May God help us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara from Owerri, and she says, how is it unacceptable to judge you in 9 months? It is because we are yet to see the direction your leadership is headed to. Okay, and he says Nigerians are galvanizing aimlessly. without proper nutrition and guidance. Which corruption is the president talking about? Is it the one that has eaten the fabrics and facets of development plans? Corruption is flourishing because we don't abide by rule of law and fear of God. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message that says, may God bless Alex Uti of Abia State and the amiable governor of Anambra State for their good work in their states. From Iweka Ifeanyi, and he says, please, our security men should be encouraged because they are risking their lives daily to save us in Nigeria. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Iweka Ifeanyi. We have this message that says, to ask us to support Tinubu government is just mocking and not real. Okay. I think this one is coming from Agunabo. He's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have another message. This one is coming from Kenneth Ndubisi Okafor from Umweze Umunachi, and he says, wait till 2027. Tinubu tells NLC. I wonder if NLC is a political party. Okay. Kenneth Ndubisi Okafor from Umweze Umunachi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And with that, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock, so keep a date and don't touch the dial of Ebona Day 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20. This morning we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a wonderful morning.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebona 103.5 FM with Martin Ifeanyi Chukwu every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date. All day, every day. Who's bad? Hit it! Ebona 103.5 FM. How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebona FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Government.
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifeanyi as our number the force every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebona 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Emas and Ebona the corner 24/7, 24/7.
Hello, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday is the most favorable day of the week. So hook up with DJ Easy every Friday by 9 p.m. on Ebona 103. This is a program where we bring onto you entertainment and the best of fun, and also give you the privilege to make some music requests. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Don't miss this every Friday night on the 103.5 FM.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right?